Of Deputy Joe Costello to outline the Minister's proposals for conserving and developing 14 to 17 Moore Street as a national monument. Deputy, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Les Concorda, and I welcome the opportunity here of raising an important issue on the floor of the House, and it's in relation to the conservation of the structures 14 to 17 Moore Street and their development. The issue has been a long-standing one. There's been quite a campaign on the issue. The site was the site where the 1916 leaders made their last stand, and the decision was taken in the City Council initially that they would be declared a national monument, and that it would be developed as an interpretive centre and a museum and a history centre and so on. And the Shaftesbury report was commissioned into it, which produced the report in November of 2005. And arising out of that report, which was very comprehensive, the City Council did agree to include the 4 buildings, 14 to 17 Moore Street, on the record of protected structures. And then this was followed shortly afterwards by a visit with great fanfare from the Minister for the Environment to the area, and the Taoiseach himself declaring that number 16 Moore Street would be a national monument. This happened on December 2006. Now, one would be forgiven for thinking that once you had listed a building of this nature, once it was on the list of protected structures, once it had been declared a national monument, that it would be protected and that it would be developed in accordance with the new status because of the historical importance and so on. However, nothing has been done to deal with the structures. They've been allowed to fall into a state of disrepair, dereliction, and the elements are causing damage to the buildings. So what we have here is a national monument which is rapidly falling into dereliction as time goes by. Now, the local authority seems to be content to allow the situation to continue as it is. The Department of the Environment has taken no action whatsoever, as far as I can understand. So you've got both the slates missing from the roof of the building and you have damage taking place to the interior of the building. So if the building isn't protected, there's every chance that it could be declared not just a national monument, but a dangerous building. And therefore, the protected status would be short-lived in those circumstances. So, Minister, the part of the problem that has arisen is that there's been quite a delay on the development of the adjoining street and adjoining streets, the so-called Carlton site, and it had been beset by legal difficulties. But these have been resolved at this point in time. But that being said, nevertheless, that's no excuse for either the local authority or the national government to, on the one hand, put a building on its list of protected structures and leave it unprotected, and the national government declare it a national monument and take no steps to do anything about it. So first of all, Minister, what I want from you at the present time is some commitment that the building will be surveyed very urgently with a view to protecting the exterior and protecting the interior. And secondly, that you would outline what proposals you have. I mean, the Taoiseach talked to some extent in long-term phase proposals between now and 2016. And then he came back with some proposals in relation to the GPO. But nothing specific has been drawn up, and nothing specific has been said about it. And are we going to have it now? Are we going to have it at all in the first instance, Las Concorla? But secondly, what is going to be there? Is it going to be a museum? Is it going to be a visitor centre? What is envisaged for it, a heritage centre? And when is that going to happen? We can't have a situation where simply private developers rule the roost, and in the meantime neither the state nor its agencies or the local authorities seems to be in a position to do anything to protect the structure. Thank you.